What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another Apex video. My name is Flame070, aspiring normal gamer for all things Apex and content creator for us casuals. Today let's talk about my first main, the one I actually actively played with, Caustic. I know it's weird, fat boy being a main, but I was a main with him before he was cool, and then even a little bit after he was not cool. Using him and after he was so good makes you question if he's still really viable, especially in the ranked tiers, since that is the grind I'm actively doing. So let's discuss. If you guys enjoy this video, enjoy these comments, enjoy my shorts, please make sure to hit that subscribe button as I release weekly videos, especially short tip content. So stay tuned. But without further ado, let's get to it. So as a defensive legend, Caustic, I believe, is pretty balanced in terms of how you can play with him. Actually, I made a short about that recently, so you know, if you want to just get a quick spiel down there. But essentially, you know, you can be aggressive with Caustic if you want to, though a defensive makes you think that he has to play passive, has to play endgame, and his kit is really good for that, the bunkering down. But honestly, with playing with him for so long, you can use him in both ways, and that is because his gas allows for some great versatility plays. You know, it creates nice deterrence in fights, makes your enemies move around it, and it allows you to kind of control the flow of battle. Obviously, Caustic is super dangerous indoors. The slow effect of the gas is still a plus, and if you time it right and make sure that you capitalize when they are slow, you can easily win those fights. Clearly his mobility is lacking, but his kit isn't good in terms of what you can do with it. So let's talk about what are the pros of his kit and what you should be doing if you're trying to use Caustic in ranked and in general. So building fighting is a big thing you have to be doing with Caustic. If there's a building, if you're playing endgame specifically, especially in ranked, always be shooting to look for a building to hold it down, because Caustic will have the advantage there. Place your barrels on entryways and somewhere in the middle, so that way if someone does push you, the gas will mess them up a little bit in terms of vision and in slowing them down. Don't count on the damage, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but it will be a good way to kind of ensure that when someone's breaching that building, you have an advantage. So make sure you stay on top of that. But again, the gas is mainly for flow of control of the enemy, where they're going to go, where they're going to be. So that's what you really want to do. Caustic in the open is a little bit of a disadvantage, obviously, now with if their enemies can shoot your barrels pretty quickly. But if you place them correctly behind some rocks or something, or even just as a way to create cover while you're doing a res, is another thing that is great about Caustic, because the vision is like a Bangler smoke, except it does a little damage if someone actually tries to poke you or push you when you're trying to go for a revive. So it's good in that way. Your gas cloud can be used to just stop people from rezzing. If you know an enemy team is healing up or they're going for a res, put it on top of them. Though it might not kill them, it might give it one. You know, again, the damage is a little bit of a lackluster, but it will disrupt them long enough for you to be able to close the distance and finish that team off. Always capitalize on that, and that's the best effective way I've seen to use his gas cloud. But there's a reason Caustic is lacking, and there's reasons why other legends are a better pick than him. So let's discuss. What he lacks, obviously, is movement. Clearly, movement legends are preferred due to the versatility of combat and just the way to be able to get in and out of fights. Caustic getting kind of third party or getting jumped on, he's really only has one option, and that is to really just take the fight and try to win. There's no way of escaping. Sure, there are some movement skills that you can practice that are applicable in all legends, like say wall jumping and whatnot, but for the most part, you really have to rely on your gun skill to get out of sticky situations. So that makes him a little bit less viable when it comes to those situations. But the biggest flaw is his gas. I was talking about deterrent method and the fact that the gas is good for that, and it was good for that, but honestly at this point with the nerf, his gas doesn't really fill that role anymore. The gas is not a deterrent enough. It does for sloppy players, for players that are kind of rushing, for players that kind of still panic due to the caustic gas. You'll be able to capitalize on them, but I've seen in higher tier plays, good players eat the gas, take the gas, know exactly how to push through it or around it, which makes it a little bit harder to use his gas effectively, and that's the biggest thing. I wish the nerf was slightly different. I understand the damage was very oppressive, and I completely agree with the nerf in that regard, but the gas as a deterrent tool, say when you're hunkering something down, is not as effective as say as a rampart shield or a Watson fence. That's why you would pick those legends over, you know, caustic in terms of hunkering down. And obviously caustic will lose to any other mobility legend, so that's why he's outpicked there as well. So because of that, the lack of his gas being effective, that is what makes him less viable, especially in ranked. For the most part, when I'm playing caustic in ranked, as I was trying to do, for the most part I was just using my skill mechanically and gun skill. My barrels come in clutch a little bit, but my kit wasn't the reason I was doing well in the games. And that really is Caustic in a nutshell. I hope I explained enough. His pros, his cons, why I use him or not use him. You know, overall, I love Caustic. He's still a fun legend to use. Again, he's balanced. If you want to pick someone to be either end game, passive, or aggro, I think Caustic is a good legend for that. Just understand that his gas isn't as strong as it could be. So with that being said, hopefully he will get some changes to make his gas a little bit more of a deterrent, but understand that at the moment it is not. But that is just my opinions. And again, if you want to use him in ranked, go ahead, but as you get into higher tiers, I highly recommend picking someone else over Caustic. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like Caustic, where he's at? What would you change about him? If you want to talk live, I stream live on Twitch Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Let's chat about Apex Legends and all legends and all that good stuff. So come say hello, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until next time, adios.